What up, guys? So I got something for you today. So I was doing some pressing on the Hotronix hat press with the DTF leatherette patches, the ones we just featured in my latest video. So I've got a new technique for you, okay? And this is a very important technique. So one thing that I've noticed when it comes to pressing DTF on leatherette, or sometimes even leather, is that where the DTF meets the actual leatherette on the outer perimeters, you can tend to notice a little bit of adhesive shine. Yeah, just a little bit of adhesive that liquefies and kind of comes past the outline. It's even common when you're pressing DTF even on t-shirts. You'll see that kind of that excess adhesive on the outside, and then you do your post press in order to eliminate that. Well, I've got a new technique for you that's going to eliminate this process. So you can do this two ways. You can do it in one shot. I'll show you that way. So you do your pre-press and then your one shot, or you can do your pre-press, you can do your second main hit, and then do your post-press. So you can do it either in 2 shots or 3 shots. It depends on kind of what you want to do. I'm doing it in 3 just because I'm wanting to get a little bit of extra heat on the patch to actually, you know, make sure it's down. So what we're gonna do is go over to the hat press, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing right now with the Richardson 6-panel hat. So we're going to apply this patch. Again, this is our DTF Supreme Color Hot Peel on red leatherette and self-adhesive. So what this is going to do is it's not only going to leave a nice imprint on the patch itself to kind of give it that screen print like look, but it's also going to make sure that the excess adhesive is totally dissolved and not showing on the patch itself. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, you guys, so we've got a upper heat of 280, lower heat of 200. We're doing a pressure of upper 6s, lower 7. Pre-press is going to be 7 seconds. Your middle press, your main, is going to be 30 seconds, and your final post press is going to be 8 seconds. Now, if you want to do this in 2 hits, a pre-press and then a final, you can kick your final up to 40 if you want, or even 35. It just depends on your product and your material. Whatever you feel comfortable with. I feel comfortable with more of a 3-hit versus a 2, but you can accomplish this in both if you want to. So make sure you take the paper that's usually in these. You can leave these clipped if you want all the way. Shouldn't interfere with that. Now with these 6-panel hats, you want to make sure you press down and then stretch it. Now what I like to do is just hold down on that for a little bit to warm that seam up, because this seam is really thick on the Richardsons. I don't know why they go so thick on that, but they do. So we're just going to hold that down to warm up that seam. And this is kind of critical. This is the most important step that you do when it comes to Richardsons. And it could be why a lot of people's patches don't really adhere well, because they don't know how to press Richardsons, at least the 6 panels. If you do a 5-panel, you won't have this issue as much. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of pulling to the right and I'm pulling to the left of the seam right here to get it down. Now it's not going to go down all the way. You see there's still about 1/4 of an inch of play, but that's where we're just going to do a quick pre-press for 7 seconds. Let that go. And then once that is done there, okay, we're going to give it a tug, and it's now down. Now what this is also going to do, everybody, is it's going to get the moisture out of the hat. You don't realize that when they ship these things and create these things, typically, well, especially when they create them, they actually give these things a steam shot. They steam them to help shape them. So there is moisture in these, and think about it. These things are in boxes, they're in bags, and they're coming overseas through the ocean. So that's going to be full of moisture that just can get developed in this hat. A lot of people don't think about hats and moisture. They just go right to it, and they don't think about it. And then they wonder why their patch is falling off later. Well, because you had moisture in your hat, most likely, and your patch didn't adhere. It's like trying to stick glue to a wet cloth. It's not going to happen. So what we're going to do now is place our patch. Now here's where the magic is going to happen. I'm going to press down on that patch with my palm to really kind of get it in there. Now I've got a piece of cotton t-shirt cotton t-shirt, everybody. So this is what I'm going to do, is lay this over the top. Then we're going to take my silicone pad that you can get on my website, the hat mat. We're going to place that on top of the cotton. Now this is a 30-second hit. 30 seconds at a pressure of 7. And then once this is done, it's going to lift up, and we're only going to remove the hat mat silicone cover, and we're going to leave the black cotton cover in place and hit it one more time. What that's going to do, even though right now with the cotton underneath the silicone, that's actually dissolving that adhesive all in one shot, and it's creating an imprint at the same time. But I just want to do an extra hit just to make sure the patch is down, and then also it's going to really give that patch, you know, the pressure and the imprint that it needs to make it look a little more imprinted. Now I'm going to bring the camera up close so you can see what's going on here. Now you can really see in the patch, you see the texture of the cotton shirt. It almost looks screen-like in that. Now you can lighten up the pressure a little bit if you see that the patch is maybe going too hard into the seam, but we're good in this case, because once I let it go and once this thing relaxes a bit, it's going to be perfectly fine. But you notice there is no adhesive on the sides of the patch at all. I mean, it makes it look like the DTF and the leatherette are now one and not separated by adhesive. So that is how you're able to do that all in one hit and not have any issues. So get rocking, get designing. Hope this video helped. If it did, like, subscribe. Catch you next one, guys. Peace out.